This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
What is going on, guys? Jay Shy here with another video, and I figure I'd do this video right after I was done with my vacation. I am back, and I figured before I jump right back into the Q&A, I answer one of my subscribers' wishes. I think he's a subscriber, I'm not sure, but it is Black Broly, and he asked if I would show off my PS1 and PlayStation 2 collection. And I've decided to do that, but I'm going to cut it into two parts so that the video is not too long. So I'm going to do PS1 first and then PS2 another day. Now, be warned, I don't have a massive PS1 collection because I ended up selling some of my PS1 games and my PS2 games, mostly because those games were, I guess, hard to find, but they were also games that I didn't really much care for. So I ended up selling those games, I think a year ago, maybe a couple months. And I only kept the games that meant something to me, games that I actually wanted to play, games I wanted to finish, and games that I had when I was a kid that have some sort of nostalgia that I like. So don't expect like 15,000 games, because that's not what I have, but I will show you guys my PS1 collection. So let's run this all up and dive right into it, shall we? Alright, we're going to try and do this, I'm going to do this as best as I can, alphabetized as possible. Alright, so please, I know I'm probably got this somewhat out of order because they came right off my shelf, just like this. So we're gonna start off with Two Extreme. This is a game I played when I had the PlayStation 1 when it first came out in 1995 on the demo disc. I always wanted to play it full, so I ended up buying this when I was a kid. So Two Extreme, let's see, make that go off. All right. Kuji the Heartless was kind of like the pseudo Soul Reaver game. This was the game made by Eidos before they came out with Soul Reaver. This was supposed to be like their kind of demo to make Soul Reaver. It's not bad, but I remember always seeing it in GamePro magazine, so I ended up buying it. Next is Ape Escape. I played this game when I was a kid. I beat it, and then I bought it again because I wanted to beat it again. That's plain and simple. This game is really kind of difficult, though, if you're not really in tune with what you know. So it was a pretty good platformer. It was like almost kind of like Super Mario 64 on the PlayStation. Next is Armor Core. I only bought this game because I accidentally thought that it was Virtual On, and it wasn't. It's not terrible, it's just not Virtual On. Next is Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain. I bought this because I wanted to know the story of Kain. I recently bought this like 2 years ago, actually, and it's not what I expected at all. It's an over-the-top kind of game, kind of like Loaded. I don't know if any of you guys know a game on the PS1 called Loaded, and there's Reloaded. I actually like that series. I don't own it, but I kind of wish I did. But Blood Omen. Next is Bust a Move. It's not brand new, don't worry. I just put it in a packaging because I want to protect this, because this is such a classic Natsumi game for me. When I was a kid, I didn't appreciate this game, and I ended up selling it, and then I regretted it, and then I found it again somewhere for dirt cheap, like $8 complete, so I ended up buying it. Next is Cool Borders 2. I remember playing this on the demo disc, so I bought it, and it's a lot harder than the demo. Dino Crisis 1, I actually got this from a friend, Jordan Alves. You guys know him, he's a YouTuber on here. He gave this to me as a gift. He knew that I never got a chance to finish this game, and I always wanted to finish it, and now I can cross this game off of my list. It's a lot longer than I anticipated, but it's Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. Next is Ultimate Battle 22, Dragon Ball Z. This game is garbage. I don't like this game. It's weird because I bought this game for like $5, played it, and I was like, wow, this game is really bad. I'm really into Dragon Ball Z Legends, but we never got that here in the States. But I actually gave this away, and then he gave it back to me, so I just kept it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, I'm just being honest. Next is Driver. I love this game. I would play this game all the time when I was a kid. Over and over and over. and then I tried to play it again, and I just had to retool myself to get used to it all over again. It was an interesting drive, I would say. Next is The Time to Kill, Duke Nukem. This game is kind of like Tomb Raider. This was around the Tomb Raider hype. So they made Duke Nukem kind of like a Tomb Raider game. When I was a kid, I liked it. And then I noticed I hated this game. Like, no, you know what? No, I don't hate this game. It's just not as fun as I remember it. But every now and then I get the urge to pop this in because I don't have Duke Nukem 3D, so I play this instead. Next is Fear Effect. I got this as a gift from a friend for my birthday because it was on my wish list because I always wanted to play it. Never got a chance to play it when I was a kid because it was rated M, and this game is really hard for me. Every now and then I'll pop it in and try to figure it out, but I feel like this game needs a strategy guide. But I know there's some experts out there that can show me a thing or two. Next is Fighting Force. This was probably the first game I actually wanted to spend money on when the PlayStation 1 first came out in 1995. I bought this game. I bought the PlayStation 1, and then I was like, I really bought the PlayStation 1 for Fighting Force because I found out it was supposed to be a Streets of Rage 4 game, and it turned into whatever this is. But I love Streets of Rage. I love beat 'em ups. I like Final Fight-esque games, so that's why I bought this. Next is self-explanatory. This is Final Fantasy VII. I got into this game because of a friend in the 7th grade kept talking about it. So I ended up buying it, and that was basically the first Final Fantasy I ever played. Next is Final Fantasy VIII. I bought this because I like Final Fantasy VII, and I can honestly say I like the gameplay, but I hate this story. I don't like this story at all. I really feel like Laguna, Ward, and Kyros should have been the main focus of this game, not whatever this is. Next is Final Fantasy IX. I like Final Fantasy IX, but I find it very, very difficult to play through. And I don't know why, because I do enjoy this game, but every now and then I'll get up to like the second disc and then quit. Like, I would literally just quit the game. I'm just like, I don't care. But it's a great game. Like, I find the game very fun. One of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy Tactics. I wish this was Black Label just because I hate this green. But Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite tactical RPGs. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. I can't say that. Is it? Yeah, it is. It's my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. I like tactical RPGs. You guys know I like the strategy of it and all that stuff, and job changing and classes, and the calculator's broken. That's all I'm gonna say. Next is Front Mission 3, another tactical strategy game made by Squaresoft when they were awesome, but this one's with mechs. Larry is the one who got me into this game. My buddy Larry, he said I would love this game, so he ended up getting me a copy, and I've never looked back ever since. Next is Gekido. Gekido is a very bad 4-player beat-em-up game on the PlayStation 1 that only had 2 controllers, so you had to get a multi-tap in order to play 4 players. Oh, God. This game is really hard. It's annoying. I beat it when I was a kid because I wasted a lot of my summers playing this game. I have a lot of nostalgia with this game. Next is Gekio Shooting King. A lot of you guys don't know, but this is actually called Shenryu. Shenryu. And Shenryu is originally on the Sega Saturn. That's the better version of this game. Is Shenryu on the Sega Saturn. This is the broken version with no music. This is the crappy version, but it just doesn't have good sound. That's about it. But the sound is really what kind of... I like playing this, I just don't like playing it on the PlayStation 1, but I play it every now and then when I'm bored. But it is a shmup, so you guys know how much I like my arcade shooters, so I got Gekio. Next is Hexen. This is a kind of Doom game, but based in the world of fantasy with orcs and demons and clerics and wizards and stuff like that. I bought this game because I never beat it as a kid. Even to this day, I still have not beat it. Every now and then I'll pop it in with me and my friends. We'll get really nostalgic and then wish that we never did because this game is really hard. Next is Inuyasha. To be honest with you, I keep forgetting that I have this. To this day, I have not played this game. But I keep it because I plan on it. I'm just waiting for the right time to play this game. I know it's a fighter though, for sure, but I think someone gave this to me and I just held on to it. But I should probably do a video on that. Next is one of my favorite racers on the PlayStation 1. It's Jet Moto. I love Jet Moto. I've beaten this game so many times, and every now and then I'll just go straight into Nightmare Racetrack and just try to play through it again. It's so much fun. Next is Jet Moto 2. This is the you can kind of tell if you look here. Where is it? There's a way to tell because there's actually two different versions of this game. There's the base Jet Moto, and then there's like the Jet Moto 2 that has Jet Moto 1 racetracks on it. And I think the way to tell is if it says 1998. Yeah, there it is. It says 1998. I think 1997 is the base one. I think. But this one is the one that is like the championship edition, but they never labeled it, which sucks. I didn't find that out until way later when I was like 17, 18. Next is Kodelka. Kodelka is an RPG made by SNK. This is the very first Shadow Hearts game. This is a gothic RPG. This game is really amazing, guys. Like, if you've never played Kodelka, go ahead and try it out. It's actually a really cool horror RPG. And it kind of has like this weird Resident Evil meets Clock Tower vibe to it, but it's an RPG. Next is Legend of Mana, the game that I play strictly just to listen to the music. I will play through this game all over again just to listen to all the music, even though I can just listen to it on YouTube. I have problems. I don't know if you guys would wonder if I had this, but of course I do. Metal Gear Solid 1. I wish this was Black Label, but it's not. Boo-hoo. But who cares? Metal Gear Solid is awesome. You guys already know. Everybody bought this because it was different for its time. Next is Nightmare Creatures. I remember seeing this cover when I was a kid and completely stayed away from this game. I actually bought this game 4, maybe 5 months ago and played it for the first time, and I actually had to use the strategy guide to beat some of the bosses. This game is really hard. It's probably the first Souls-like game ever, but except when you die, none of that losing everything. You just kind of lose your continues. But this game is really good. I'm happy I did get it. Next is Parasite Eve. A lot of you guys know that I had this debacle that happened a couple years back where my Parasite Eve on PlayStation 3 got deleted because I downloaded it and I just swore off of never buying games digital ever again. Someone actually got this for me as a gift for me losing my game, so thank you. Forgot exactly who it was, but thank you for getting this for me. So I did get a chance to play through this, and oh my god, it's so good. Next is Parasite Eve 2. I don't like it. That's all I can say. I don't like Parasite Eve 2, man. I just don't. Next is Persona 2, Eternal Punishment. I really need to give this game a playthrough. The reason why I haven't played through this is because I really want to play Original Sin. I think that's what it's called. Original Sin, right? It's the PSP one. But I really don't want to have to resort to playing it on a PSP. But Jordan Alves was like, why don't you just emulate it? And I was like, wow, why haven't I thought of that? I'm dumb. Yeah, I should probably do that. I was just waiting for the right time to go ahead and download Original Sin so I can play Eternal Punishment later. But just waiting for that right time, man. I feel like time has got to be right to play that game, man, you know? Next is R-Type Delta. R-Type Delta is another arcade shmup, but this one apparently is the harder to find one. Didn't know that, but this is a 3D version of it. It's like really, really good. Like, really good. Like Einhander almost good. Like, it's really good. I kind of wish I had Einhander, but I don't. Einhander is another shooter that I seem to cannot find for lower than $100, so I probably won't ever get it. Next is Ray Crisis, another arcade shmup. This game was originally on the Sega Saturn as well, but this version's okay too. It's not terrible, you know. It's all right. I did beat this game though. Oh, bumping into stuff. Next is Resident Evil Director's Cut. This is not the DualShock version that has the bad music. This is the Director's Cut version, complete with the bad voice acting though. That's still intact, so thank you for that, because I play this game just for the voice acting alone. Next is RE2. RE2 is a game that I was really afraid to play when I was a kid, and then I ended up buying it later in my adulthood, I would say. And I can beat this game really quickly now, and I'm happy for that, and I love this game. It's weird though, I kind of think I enjoy Resident Evil 1 more than 2 though, because it just has that weird kind of pixelated graphics. Next is Race Storm. This is another shmup that was originally on the, I think it was CDI? No, it was probably Saturn 2 as well. But this is the, I think this is the final game in the Ray Crisis series, because there's 3 of them. But that game is really good. Next is Silhouette Mirage. Silhouette Mirage is kind of like a Mega Man game. I got this game because I always wanted to play it. My friends speak very highly of it because some of my older friends, they're very adamant collectors of the Sega Saturn and stuff like that, so they always tell me to pick up games that I've never heard of. And I knew about this game when I was a kid, but I never really paid attention to it until later in my life. So it's kind of like Mega Man almost. I haven't beaten it either, so. Street Skater, I got this for $1. I saw it in a store. I love this game because, I don't know, when I was a kid I used to only have this game. And I played it so much. Next is Star Ocean, Second Story. Star Ocean Second Story is a really interesting RPG that has like 88 endings, I think. Is it? Yeah, 80 possible endings. Like, it has a lot of endings in the game, but this game is really long. I remember a long time ago I asked my mom to buy me this game when I was about, I would say 11, and she would not get me the game, and it took me years. Like, I think I got this game when I was like 24. Larry got it for me as a gift, and I got a chance to finally play through it, and I was like, this game is amazing. I don't know if I would have appreciated it when I was a kid, so I'm happy for that. Next is Strider 2. How can I say this? This game's bad. I don't like this game. It's not bad. It's fun. It's just way too easy. It's way too easy. I beat this game in like an hour. I was very disappointed when I played this game. It's very expensive because it's hard to find, but I don't think it's a good game. Strider 1 is really good though. Next is Strikers 1945, another shmup on the PlayStation that I think was also originally on the Sega Saturn. That was really good. This game is surprisingly really good on the PlayStation 1. It's not bad, but I like my arcade shmups. I try to 1cc them every now and then. Next is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, puzzle game with Street Fighter characters. I like this game. Every now and then I pop it in with me and my friends and we go ham. Next is Siphon Filter. Played this game when I was a kid, loved this game as a kid, and I still love this game even to this day. It hasn't aged too well, but sometimes when you play the game long enough, your brain starts to remember certain muscle like controls and stuff like that. Fiber muscles start to remember things of how you used to play. It's really fun. Siphon Filter 2, I don't really need to say much about that. And Siphon Filters 3, don't really need to say much about that one either. They're spy games, man. They're spy games. Legend of the Dragoon. This game was actually recommended by Larry. That's the only reason why I bought it. This game is okay. My problem with it is, you know what it is? I think what happened is, you play so much Shin Megami Tensei games, when you play games like this, you're just like, it's too easy. This game is really easy. But it's still fun. Oh, God. Alright. Thank God it was that one. Tomorrow Never Dies. Tomorrow Never Dies is a 007 game that I would play all the time because I didn't have GoldenEye. So I settled for this. Next is Vagrant Story, another awesome Squaresoft game, which is really hard. It's an RPG where you have to target body points. It's really difficult. I have not beaten this game. I'm not even going to say it, guys. I have not beaten that game. It's really hard. Next is the RPG that got me into tactical strategy RPGs, and it's Vandal Hearts. Vandal Hearts, I will forever hold dear to me. You guys can kind of tell I got it in this nice sealed kind of casing because I don't want anything to happen to this game. This is the game that started it all for me, was Vandal Hearts for strategy RPGs. It was that. I love Vandal Hearts. Next is Vandal Hearts 2. Vandal Hearts 2. Wow. Actually, a lot harder than the first one. Or they might be the same, actually. Next is Vampire Hunter D. I had this game when I was a kid, and it took me a while to track down. And I finally did track it down, and I didn't remember the game being that bad. I remember it being quite fun when I was a kid, and I was playing it, and I was just like, wow, this game's bad, but I'm keeping it anyway because I like it. But it's so bad. Next is VMX Racing. It's a dirt bike game that I had when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed it, even though it has like 4 levels. But I enjoyed it. And last but not least is Wild 9. I actually have 2 copies. I had a copy that was just the disc, and I was like, I really want the case to this game because I love the game so much. So a friend of mine actually got me this copy, and I just kept it, man, because I really like this game. This was made by the same guys who did Earthworm Jim. It's really fun. It's a pretty cool platformer where you kind of like swing around your enemies with this lightning rod thing, and it's pretty much fun. So anyway, that is my PS1 collection. Next video, I will show you guys my PlayStation 2 collection. That's smaller. So until next time, guys, I will see you again in the next video. Okay, guys? Peace.